All right, so we'll talk about Quinn Ewers in the passing game a little bit. Chan wants to know why is Quinn's footwork still a work in progress now at this point. I think you saw some of those old bad habits, show themselves for Quinn. But I think most of those bad habits for me were when he was trying to push the ball vertically downfield. And even E just brought up when you have those long developing play action passes when he's got to turn his back to the defense and then, recalibrate and gather himself. It seems like things are working a lot smoother for Quinn, even with the footwork, Chan, like you're talking about with the RPO game, right? With the RPO game, the quick game. Because even the quick game, he's proven that his arm talent is enough where he doesn't even have to. He should always set his feet. And he should always follow through with proper mechanics. But because he has so much arm talent with the quick game and the intermediate game, he doesn't really have to. On those vertical shots downfield, he's got to get his feet set. He's got to make sure that he's being disciplined in his arm mechanics. And at times on the deep throws, we saw that also suffer. But the deep ball being an issue, it's not all Quinn's fault. I think we all need to come to the unfortunate, inconvenient reality that he's just not good at it. Now, he does have the golden arm. He's got the arm that can put the ball anywhere on the football field, but can he put it there accurately? Can he put it there with great ball placement? And I think I have enough of a sample size, just me as a football guy, saying that's one of his weaknesses. He's just not a great deep ball thrower. Now, that makes him somewhat incompatible with Sark, because Sark is a big game hunter. He's all about the deep ball, right? He doesn't like small game like quail and game birds. No, he wants to go in the African plains and he wants to take out some big game and post a head on his wall. And we know this because he keeps telling us over and over again, I'm going to throw the deep ball, so y'all need to get over it. Problem is, they're really inefficient with the deep ball. They were 8th best in completion percentage in the deep ball last season, and Texas had 6 deep balls in this game and were 0 for. All right, 0 for 6, and for different reasons. Sometimes it was pressure. Sometimes it was Quinn not stepping in the throws. Sometimes I'm going to put it on Sark, and this is where I'll put on Sark. I went back and looked at the percentage of deep balls on first down because it seemed to me in that game versus Rice, a lot of them were on first down. As a matter of fact, 4 of the 6 were on first down. 4 of your 6 deep balls on first down. And I went back in 2022 and looked at, the amount of deep balls on first down and found 48%. And I'll round it up a little bit, but damn near 48% of Texas deep balls came on first down. And this is not a problem if you're connecting on at least the average amount of them. But when you're below average, like Texas is, you are putting yourself more behind the chains. And when you got Bijan and Rojo, no big deal. It's Bijan and Rojo. They'll bail you out. Put some Bijan on it with a side of Rojo. But when you don't have Bijan and Rojo, and you have an offensive line that doesn't pass protect really well, and you had a quarterback that's not in the rhythm, not playing confident, and then you're behind the chains in predictable passing situations, that is a situation, in my opinion, where you're putting your players, all right, in a compromising position. And I think that's what Sark has done by what I call chasing the deep ball. It's cool to, make big plays, but you shouldn't chase big plays as a play caller. And Sark chases big plays. I once had an offensive coordinator tell me, listen, every down has a purpose. Purpose of third down is to get the first down. Purpose of second down is to get yourself in a favorable position for third down. All right, a favorable third down. And the purpose of first down, that is your mission as an offensive coordinator. That's what you are trying to emphasize as an offensive coordinator. Maybe it's getting your quarterback in the rhythm. Maybe it's about the running game. Sark wants to emphasize the deep ball. He wants to instill fear in his opponent. And I understand that psychology because I'm a defensive back, and there's no doubt the deep ball strikes fear in every defense's heart, and it makes defenses back up a little bit and become less aggressive. The problem is when you don't convert the deep balls, you do more self-harm and damage, self-inflicted damage, than damage to the opponent. And I think what happened with Sark in the game versus Rice, especially in the first half, you didn't have a consistent running game. You combine that with first down deep balls, you're behind the chains without a good running game. When we're talking about third down average yards to gain versus Rice, 8.9. That's how you get that number. That's how you end up with an average of 3rd and long on your third downs in a game, which you cannot have versus Bama. So some of it is on Sark and his habit. All right, we know that it's deeper than a proclivity and a preference with the deep ball. He is obsessed with it. It is a compulsion with him. It's like, I always call it Pookie from New Jack City. He keeps calling me. He's got to have that deep ball. Give me that deep ball, baby. I need it. And if he doesn't get it, psychologically, I think it does damage to him. It makes him an insecure play caller. It makes him believe his offense is inadequate without it. And I think that's just flawed logic by him, but I definitely think you can see him push it. I will give him credit. In the Rice game, he did not push it. Only one deep ball in the second half, and that's why you saw the offense hit its stride and rhythm in the second half, because it wasn't interrupted by him forcing in the deep ball, chasing that waterfall when he should stick to the streams and the lakes that you're used to. That's the short and the intermediate game.
They got to it in the third quarter for sure.
They got to it.
Someone on Twitter posted all 6 of the passes he threw that were 25 yards or more. The first
My
one
man
came,
Nash. Shout out to Nash Talk Text. He's a good follow.
Really good follow.
Yeah.
He posted these, and the first one came at 4:45 to go first quarter, and it was Texas' second possession.
Mm-hmm.
And on this one, Xavier Worthy's going down the right side. Quinn took too long.
He's got time.
He waited too long. He had plenty of time on that one. That's one he just underthrew, and he should have thrown it a step quicker because the X-Man was running away from the defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
There was one where he rolled to his right and tried to force it down the right side to the pylon to J.T. Sanders.
That was near the red zone.
Near the red zone. It was about a 25-yard pass.
Yeah. And
that was one where pressure got, and he just kind of threw it up and see if J.T. Sanders could make a play.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 guys there. And it wasn't bad. The throw was accurate. Throw was there, off running to his right. The second one that he missed with Xavier was the one I'm sure was most frustrating for Quinn and Sark at film work today, because this is the one where they ran play action off a first down. It was a run look, and then the play action was there. And this is the one where Quinn Ewers, Xavier Worthy was running away from the cornerback on the second one. It came in
this is out and up.
Yeah, this is late in the second quarter. It's approaching halftime. It's one. And he was going to run into the end zone, and he just underthrew it at that one. Another one he did was on a 3rd and 18 when the Longhorns were just trying to get it. Remember, he tried to force it into J.T. Sanders over the middle. It wasn't there, but it was a long throw. It was over 25 yards in the air because it was 3rd and 18. And then there was one that was going to be to Adonai Mitchell down the left side, Rod. And as he threw it, he got hit in the face. They came with pressure, and it led to a throw that went to the wrong shoulder for Adonai Mitchell. So, each one of them, as you said, some were Quinn's fault, some were
exactly. It's
pressure.
Not one thing. Yeah.
It's not one thing. And I would also say that, for Sark, Sark's going to look at that and say, well, those plays were there. Several of those, the A.D. Mitchell and 2 of the X-Men. Were they, though?
He said that last year. He kept saying that last year. He kept saying,
well, the
plays are there. It's not just one guy. It's not just Quinn's fault. It's not the O-line. It's a different, he said, basically, it's a different culprit every time. There's a different reason that we can't connect every time. Well, Sark, what does that tell you? What does the sample size tell you? You're not good at it. Yeah. You're not good. I know you want to be. Life and football are both constant struggles, deciding between what we want to be, because we all want to be something, and what we need to be in order to survive. All right. And Sark wants to be an offense that can really challenge teams with the deep ball and that can threaten every level of and every dimension of the football field. I get it. I get what you want to be. But what you need to be is an offense that weaponizes the short to intermediate game and gets his quarterback in a rhythm and a groove with the quick game, and the RPOs. So for Sark, this is the test. This is the test because he failed this test in the Washington game versus in Alamo Bowl. Go back and watch the broadcast. The broadcasters say they spoke to the Washington defensive coordinator and they backed their corners up, and he said Sark doesn't have the patience to go down the field with the quick and the short game. We'll give it to him. But sooner or later, that he keeps calling me, that Pookie within him, I need that deep ball, baby. I got to have it. Yeah. That Tyrone Biggums within him, it'll get to him. He'll throw the deep ball. And when he does, usually on first down, he'll put Texas behind the chains. And without Bijan and Rojo behind the chains, excellent. You're exactly what a defensive coordinator wants you.
Says how many deep balls were play action. I counted 2 of the 6 were off play action.
Yeah, I got to go back and look at my notes.
I counted 2 of the 6 were on play action. Somebody asked that question. It's a great point. All right, one more time. Let's hear from Sark on the deep ball because it's the one thing people are talking about. Rod just laid it out for you. Because, when he came out in the third quarter, they went all RPO, all quick game, as Rod said, and they went up and down the field 3 times. And they had more rhythm as an offense, without a doubt. And they played with tempo. Here's Sark afterwards on the deep ball.
it's going to feel good when we do hit them, and we have to do it because we have to be able to make people defend all three layers of the field, right? The line of scrimmage, then that intermediate throw, and then that deep throw. We have to make them defend that. And I'm aware that people want to defend the deep ball against us, and I think that's why we see some of those intermediate things open, where you see a Jordan Whittington kind of on a crossing route for an explosive play. You see JT Sanders on his touchdown on the play pass kind of in the intermediate for the touchdown. So, that's what taking those shots do. It opens up that intermediate throw. They feel better when we hit them, right? Or at least get a pass interference. And I thought we might have got a PI on one, but we got to continue to stay creative as a staff. And then we got to continue to still in belief in Quinn and the receivers that those shots are there and we're going to make those plays.
He ain't stopping.
He's not going to stop, Gus. He told us that last season. He said this is what he does. And I get it. I actually agree with the philosophy. Here's my biggest issue with it, Sark. It's the timing of them.
Yeah.
I think you're throwing too many deep shots on first down.
That's fair.
And you're putting your team behind the chains. Listen, the deep shots are hard to connect on. They really are. They're tough. They're low percentage throws. But I think you really do a lot of self-harm to the offense and to your quarterback when you get behind the chains like that, throwing it on first down and not connecting. What I would like is when you get ahead of the chains, when you get in second and short, when you get to a second and medium, when you get to a third and short, a third and medium, because we know he likes to go for it on fourth down anyway, depending on where you're on the field. That's when you take your deep shot, baby. And then you're ahead of the chains. It's not so damaging. When you don't hit it on first down, it's brutal. It's brutal to come back without Bijan and Rojo in that backfield and go, 2nd and 10, guys. It's like, ugh. 2nd and 10 without Bijan and Rojo? I don't like that. With your offensive line that can't pass block? I don't like that.
No, I
don't like that.
And this week for sure, got to stay ahead of those chains.
Yeah, man.
And on down and distance.
That's Coach Steven. Thank you, Chan. That's Coach Steven. Coach Sark was in the second half. Unfortunately, Coach Steven started out coaching the first half, so I don't know why that was the case. Hopefully, Sark coaches the entire Bama game.